Hello everyone, Casey Kendall, Prosperity North Advisors, a Kendall Insurance Agency protecting your prosperity, located here in beautiful Gilbert, Arizona. Welcome to part 2 of Auto Insurance 101. Now in part 1 we talked about liability coverage by the numbers. That's breaking down what those numbers mean. It could be 100, 300, 100 as the example we used. But in here, we're going to get into more depth on the liability, comp, collision, and medical payments and what that means in your policy. So when we jump into this, into the liability, comp, collision, and medical payments, there's a few things that you need to be aware of. So liability coverages, again, the example we're going to use today is 100, 300, and 100, but your coverages might differ. It could be 50, 150, it could be 250, 500, 250. You could have the state minimum of 25, 50, 25. Don't do that. Don't have the state minimum. You're leaving yourself wide open. I have an entirely separate video on the state minimum coverage and why you shouldn't have it, but maybe you do. So let's talk about liability coverage. What does it do? Well, the biggest and most important thing is damage to others, mostly the bodily injury, injury to any other passengers in your car, the other driver, the other driver's passenger, as well as property damage. It could be a car, the other car that's involved. It could be a wall, house, anything that you've hit and you've damaged is going to be covered in the liability. With the comprehensive, also known as comp, it's going to cover you for theft, the windshield, if a rock gets kicked up and your windshield gets cracked. I know that happens a lot here in Arizona. You can get a new windshield. In fact, if your windshield is cracked or damaged, it's against the law, so you got to get that fixed. Could include vandalism, riots, explosions, and even natural disasters, storm, floods, winds, anything, even including an accident with an animal, whether you hit a deer, small animal, unfortunately a dog or anything like that, it will be covered under your comprehensive. So what is collision? Well, collision is a car accident. I mean, plain and simple, if you get into a crash with someone, your vehicle will get fixed. If it's overturned, if it collides, if there's any damage, and this includes damage to damage from a tree or damage hitting a light post or another car, even a house, you'll have your car fixed under the collision portion of the insurance. So where do the medical payments kick in? Well, Arizona does offer medical payments within the auto insurance. It covers your medical bills as well as the passengers or anybody who's injured. It could be the other driver, it could be the other driver's passengers, or somebody within your vehicle. Now, this is regardless of fault. Now, those payments are set at $500, could be $1,000, could be $5,000, could be upwards to $10,000, but you're taken care of in those medical payments. So what are some issues? Well, you have to have liability coverage. I mean, that's just the law. Now, again, there's that whole state minimum and those types of things, but that liability coverage is going to make sure that the other person's property is fixed and repaired. It's called indemnify. Indemnifying to make whole or make right. So you need to make sure that you at least have that liability coverage. Nobody cares if your car doesn't get fixed, but somebody cares if their car doesn't get fixed. So have that liability coverage so you're not leaving yourself open to be sued or anything like that. I appreciate you staying tuned for our current video, which covered liability, comp, collision, and medical payments. If you have questions in regards to liability by the numbers and what those mean, there's an in-depth video. It's our first video. Upcoming videos, we're going to talk about uninsured motorists and underinsured motorists, which includes bodily injury as well as property damage, rental car, roadside assistance, how pricing is determined in auto insurance. There's so many different factors that go into this. We're going to talk about the deductible and how that can affect your rates. Again, the state minimum, it's one of my big issues, guys. You can tell I'm pretty passionate about that. State minimum versus what you should have, and everybody's situation is different. And then A huge question that I get regularly: teenage driver. How do I insure my teenage driver? What does that look like? And how can I ensure that everything is covered for a new driver? Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, share this video. I look forward to speaking with you soon. Have a great day.